Hi everybody, my name's Liz and welcome to my channel Earth Art Balance, where I talk about leading a creative and balanced life while managing a chronic illness. And first off, let me just say Happy New Year. We're in 2021. 2020 is in the past, and let's hope, fingers crossed, that 2021 turns out to be a little bit better for most of us. That aside, today I want to talk about something that's kind of related to New Year's, not really though when I start thinking about it. But anyways, and that is dealing with unpredictability and the unexpected. When you have a chronic illness, whatever it might be, there's a lot of unpredictability. And if 2020 taught us anything, life is really not predictable. We think we have control, but we don't. We just don't. I'm sorry. The only thing we might have control over is kind of what I'm going to talk about today. And these are some things that have really helped me just manage and roll with the punches, and really maintain balance and happiness and joy, even under really difficult circumstances. So without further ado, grab a cup of tea. That was probably one of the longer intros I've had. I apologize, and let's get into it. I kind of giggle when I think about this first one. So I have to go back, way back to like 7th, 8th grade. I don't remember exactly which grade I was in when this happened. And it was one of those moments where I had this kind of epiphany. So this was before I even became chronically ill. And I was on a field trip with my class and maybe the grade above or behind me, whatever it was. And we were on a trip to New York City to the National Museum of History. Great museum. Go there if you have a chance, maybe not during a pandemic. And I got left behind for like, let's just make it simple. I got left behind. And this was in the day when cell phones were kind of just starting to become more common for lots of people to have them. And thankfully, like, I went to the info desk, called my parents, and my parents somehow got a hold of somebody on the bus and they came back and got me. So it all turned out okay. But I remember in that moment as this young adolescent thinking to myself, well, I can't be stuck here forever. And it was that mindset that I can't be stuck here forever, that this situation, this scenario I'm in, even though it's scary and I'm kind of uncomfortable with it, will pass. And so this is one of the first lessons that really hit home for me when I was diagnosed with a chronic illness. And so that is one of the lessons that I feel like we can take into 2021, that life is really unpredictable. How do we approach it in a way that increases our own well-being and reduces our stress? So this, for me, is really about managing a stress response, which if it goes out of control can, one, make my symptoms a lot worse, but two, I think for the general public and people in general, a high level of stress is bad for our overall health, especially if it's long-term chronic stress. You know, a little bit of stress here and there that's like creative stress, not so bad, but long-term like chronic stress, because, you know, there's things going on that are out of your control, is not so beneficial. So this okay, I can't be stuck here forever kind of became a mantra for me, but it wasn't, I won't be stuck here forever. It was, okay, this, whatever this is, can't last forever. So whenever I am in a scenario where I'm suddenly dealing with something that was unexpected, whether it's an unexpected car payment or a car accident, or I suddenly have a really acute symptom that I was not planning on, and it just takes me by surprise, I take a pause and I say, this can't last forever. And basically, this is a reminder that everything is impermanent, that any scenario, situation, feeling, emotion, anything that you might be going through, it's impermanent to some extent, and that this too shall pass. So that's been really helpful for me, because it helps me pause and take a step back and stop some of my stress response in its progression forward. So that's just a general lesson that I think can help all of us in 2021, that, okay, no matter what's out of my control, whatever is going on right now, here in this moment, this too shall pass. I can't be here forever. This can't last forever. So I know that can be really hard sometimes, and there's definitely moments when I'm dealing with chronic illness symptoms where I'm just like, okay, Liz, yeah, you say that to yourself, but right now it doesn't feel like that. And I can understand that that's really challenging, but that's just one of the starting points that has really helped me. And that kind of brings me to kind of the second thing that I follow up with, and that is I take a really deep breath. When I have had to remind myself that, okay, I can't be stuck here forever, or this can't last forever, I take a really deep breath. And then sometimes after that, I might go into a breathing exercise, which I know I've talked about in past videos, so I'll try to link that video or videos up in the cards here in case you're interested in that. But I take a deep breath, and it can just be as simple as taking a deep inhale and a deep exhale and just kind of helping my body stop and relax for a moment. So those are kind of the first two things that I do when I'm like, unpredictable, wasn't expecting this, you know. It's helped me kind of remain calm in really what could otherwise be very tense and stress and anxiety inducing scenarios and situations. And I will say that on the spectrum of anxiety, whereas super low key individual to very anxious individual, I'm probably closer to the very anxious individual. So I really find that these two things together help me immensely, especially in a moment of potential overwhelm, whatever is causing that overwhelm. Another thing that I do sometimes as a follow-up to the reminder and the breathing is I close my eyes. Now, you can't always do that in every situation. It's not always safe. Like when you're stuck in traffic and you're late to somewhere, you can't really close your eyes. I get that. But closing my eyes helps me eliminate one of the input senses that I have. So, you know, I can still smell and hear and feel, and technically I can still taste when I close my eyes. But when I close my eyes, there's one less thing for my brain to process, and it helps me recenter again and bring myself back to my body, which is kind of a meditative process in and of itself. And again, I've talked about some meditative processes that have helped me, and I'll link that up in the cards. But yeah, that's another thing that I do. And when I can't close my eyes, this is one of the other go-to. So this is really applicable, like if you're stuck in traffic and you're really stressed out and you can't get somewhere, you're stuck somewhere and you can't really close your eyes. I just start naming objects around me like candle, Azizi plant, pillow, tea, notebook. And it kind of takes my brain's attention off of whatever is stressful in the moment and pulls it back and helps me kind of reset. And again, pause, take a big breath. Remember that whatever is happening right now in this moment, it can't last forever. Everything is impermanent. This too shall pass. So those are some really important techniques that have helped me, especially in moments of heightened anxiety or stress when I'm dealing with something unexpected or unpredictable, that have really, really helped me over the long term, especially when it comes to managing chronic illness symptoms. But I've also, as I started off with that story earlier, it's something that has helped me in just really random situations that are unexpected, or random moments of life that you were like, well, I didn't expect the garbage disposal to break this morning when I have 20 million other things to do. So, you know, stuff like that. And that's what I've found over the long term is these kind of 3 or 4 tips, so to speak, just really help me problem solve and move on to the next step of, okay, I can't be here forever, but if I want to make it better sooner, what can I do about it? And so it's a moment that helps me reset and empowers me to then go to the next step and do something about it, whatever I might need to do. So when it comes to managing chronic illness, sometimes I got to rearrange meetings, or I got to make sure that I can work in a really dark room, or I got to make sure that I have someplace really soft to sit, you know, some of those sorts of things. And then when it comes to just everyday life stresses like the garbage disposal suddenly breaking when I have 20 million other things to do, it helps me go, okay, I can't fix this myself right now. Pause. Does it need to be fixed right now? Can we live without the garbage disposal for a couple weeks? And then, you know, go on from there. And so this has really helped. And I hope that these tips can help you as you enter 2021, which I also think is going to be an unpredictable year, and just find some kind of real joy and calmness in your life when life is so chaotic and hectic. And one last thing I just want to say, because I think it's really important to say, I definitely come from a place of privilege when it comes to all of this stuff. Like financially speaking, I'm in good standing. I have a loving family that is able to help support me, and I am able to currently help support them. And I know that that is not the case with everyone. So I just wanted to leave the last moment with a shout out, saying, you know, I know we're not all in the same place, and I know we don't have all of the same equality and means. And so to keep that in all of our minds too, and to take care of each other, and to give when you can give, you know. I'll leave some links to some charities that I think are really important. You know, Feeding America. There's a lot of hunger right now with all of the economic insecurity in our country, and I think if there's one thing we can do for our neighbors, it's to make sure that they have healthy, nutritious food to feed their bodies, and that can be one less stress off of them. So I just also wanted to throw that in there because I know that that's a really tough topic to talk about, but I think it's a really important one, and I know that I have a lot of privilege that I'm economically secure right now. In a really, really crazy, unpredictable time. So thank you for watching. Be well, take care. My cats didn't disturb me too much this time, which is funny, but okay. And remember, it's about the journey. And definitely leave comments below if one of these things helped, or you have other things that you do in these sorts of scenarios that have really helped, because I think the more we can learn from each other, the better we will be in 2021. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. Happy New Year, everybody. Hi, Luna. I almost startled my cat. Okay. Okay. My notebook. Yeah. Gotta get one that like lays flat. All right. She's a prowling.